Hi, it's Nikki. I'm going to be talking about a photo today. If you're listening to this on the podcast and you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, I will leave a link down below so you can take a look at it. If you can see it on my grid on Instagram, go over there and just familiarize yourself with the photo. Basically, it looks really good for me because I'm in the middle of 4 other women and they all seem to be laughing at my joke. Who knows what I was saying? I can't just remember, but I'm glad that it tickled the audience and my fellow panelists. Right, what I wanted to say today is that photo was taken at a Women's Worth Summit, and I was invited to speak on their panel by Stylist Magazine and Nat West. And I was talking about having a portfolio career and how to pitch your services and how to get started and how to basically generate that work, how to kind of do the hustle in a non-sleazy way. And other people on the panel were there to talk about how they raised funds, or how they started their company, or how they were disrupting the industry. And the whole day was curated as a really lovely, safe, inclusive environment to support women to talk about money, to talk about investments, creating more, pensions, savings, loans, all of that sort of stuff in that moment. Now, when I got the brief, the temptation would have been to think, right, we're there to talk about money. Money is serious. Therefore, I have to be serious. Therefore, because money has been associated with corporate situations, I need to kind of brush up that version of myself and really go down that path. Now, I'm an actor, I'm a trained actor. Of course, I could have played a bit of a weird character and turned up in a sort of more polished version of myself than maybe I am naturally. However, this is one thing that we have to realise, that you can do you. And it's taken me a long time and many years to really step into this version of myself, because, you know, we're all pulled apart. We're all taught that we're not good enough, or we've got the wrong accent, or we're not qualified enough, or we didn't have experience there, or what do we even have to say anyway? And I have had to do that work over time and really think about, what am I there to do? And what kind of angle can I bring to the table? And in that circumstance, I could bring that angle of being real, of real, whatever that means, but my version of real, of sharing the highs and lows, or sharing some funny stories that would make people feel less alone, or talking about things in a really practical way that are obtainable, that do connect with people. And my role in that situation was not to kind of blend in and do what everybody was expecting. In fact, actually, I do like to be a bit unexpected sometimes, or I do like to make bold choices. I learned that in my acting career. Directors always used to say during our training was, go into meetings and make a bold choice. And sometimes that bold choice might not be for everybody, and it may not work in your favour. But at least you've gone for it. At least you're not bland, or you haven't just kind of blended in with everybody else. At least you're memorable in some way. And sometimes what will happen is you might not be right for something or someone, but that comes around later down the line and you become that go-to person. So what I want to say today is, whenever you're feeling like you should be a template of what somebody else has done or how other people in your industry do things, take a moment and question why you're doing that and whether you connect with it. Because if you don't, you are depriving people of what they're expecting from you. And I've worked with stylists over a couple of times now, and they know on booking me what they want to expect. So if I suddenly turned up and I changed my personality or the way that I was going to operate, it's like ordering something and then it kind of coming on the plate and you're like, oh, I didn't realise they'd put an egg on it. Why have they done that? That was unnecessary. There's a lot of egg action in restaurants, isn't it? Anyway, another story. So yeah, most important thing that you can do is really think about what your flavor is, what you're there to do, how you can add value, how you can say things in a way that nobody else says, and bring your own experience, bring your own heart, bring your own vulnerability. Now, I say that in a very cautious way because your levels of boundaries are different to the next person. And for me, I am very boundaried in the things that I will talk about and the things that I won't. But the things that I will go all in, and I will be there in that moment being really present. So another element to this is what can happen when you do these speaking events is you get a whole new group of customers, of ears, of people who want to potentially be in your world. And I don't believe necessarily that people are really utilizing this thing of being in the room where you're the expert with all your ideal customers. And it's much easier to be the person who's speaking, and then lots of people come up to you afterwards, rather than trying to work the room and sort of like pitch your services but not feel like you're pitching, and be nice but not, you know, all of that sort of stuff. So I would love to invite you to have a look in the description box down below. And I would love to chat more with you about my Speak Up program. So this is a program that's going to really help you not only get paid as a speaker, which I've been able to do over the last 25 years, but also figure out that online, in-person persona, your presence, how you communicate, and how that moves through your personal brand. So how you can show up in your videos, or how you can create a digital product that will sell itself but by you showing up and being the person that you're supposed to be, or how to pull together your about page or your speaker page so people can make really clear decisions about who you are and go ahead and book you. There's nothing worse, and with a young daughter at the moment, sometimes I'll find myself scrolling in the middle of the night, which I know is bad, but I'll find myself scrolling and I'll be looking at services or maybe things that I want to purchase. And sometimes the websites that I land on, they are so vague, or they'll just say complete the form and we'll get back to you, and I don't necessarily know what that is or what it's all about, and I want to be able to make a decision, or at least move forward in my decision in that moment. So if you've been listening to this and going, yeah, I know that I need to speak up more, that's why I called the program that. I know that I need to figure out my messaging, or I've been asked to do panels, but I'm not really sure what to say. Like, what am I the go-to expert for? And how do I package that up? You need to have a look at the program down below, because it's going to give you that step-by-step guide to be able to figure this out. Now, this is not something that you just follow along and I give you all the answers. What I do is I give you that framework where you can apply it to your own business, because this is what it's all about, and this is about building a successful personal brand. I believe is that it has to feel good to you. You have to feel connected to it. It has to suit your personality, your circumstances, your goals, how you want to show up in the world, your values, your ethics, all that good stuff. So it has to come from you. But what I do in this program is support you to do that inner work. So you come away going, yes, I know how to move forward, and yes, that makes sense now. Because I tell you what, after doing over 110 podcast episodes now, the last thing that always comes to me is the bio, because people don't know what to say about them or what to sell or all of that sort of stuff. So if this has piqued your interest, and if you want to be that person where all the people are laughing at her, with her, who knows, I'd like to think with, check out the description down below. And thanks so much for watching. See you soon.